Steaming fresh and frozen vegetables is really fast and easy when you use your Combi oven. We're going to take a look at steaming fresh broccoli first. So I'd like for everyone to take a piece of broccoli. Broccoli is known as nature's broom. So I would like you to take a really close look at the top and tell me what's inside those buds. Does anyone know?
Flowers.
Oh, very good, flowers, that's right. And we want to make sure those buds and those flowers stay intact throughout the cooking process. So the first thing we're going to do is start with a 2-inch pan. So I have a 2-inch perforated pan, and the reason I'm using a perforated pan is so that the steam can cook on the top, through the sides, and also through the bottom, so you get a really nice, fast, even cooking. Secondly, you want to make sure that you do not overload the pan. Okay, so step number 1, we have a perforated pan. Step number 2, we don't overload the pan. I would say put about 3 pounds of broccoli in your 2-inch perforated pan. Next, we don't want to overcook the vegetable. So when we cook in the Combi, what we want to do is we're going to set the Combi for steam. We're going to open the door and we're going to place our solid pan below our perforated pan for cooking. The reason we're using this solid pan below the perforated pan is to catch any drippings that might fall from the broccoli. It just helps with cleanup at the end of the day. Next, we're going to close the door. We will set our timer and we will let the Combi steam the broccoli. For this unit, I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes, but you would want to be sure to test the broccoli in your Combi. Broccoli's ready. Okay, hot pan, so we want to be sure to grab our oven mitts before we reach in and grab the pan. And we're going to take our solid pan out. If there had been any liquid in the solid pan, you could pour that back down into the Combi. But for now, we're just going to bring our freshly steamed broccoli out. And notice how the flowers, the buds, they are still intact, aren't they? Yes, very, very appetizing for our students. The same rules for fresh broccoli also apply to frozen broccoli. We're going to use a 2-inch perforated pan. We are going to not overload the pan, and we're not going to overcook the vegetable. Chef Chris, what are you doing?
I'm going to steam up some broccoli for lunch.
Remember the quality cooking rules. 2-inch pan, perforated, only 4 pounds of broccoli in the pan. Yeah, remember those and you'll have a quality vegetable.
Okay.
So for frozen broccoli, there is something else that you do need to remember, and that is you want to thaw out, or sometimes in the culinary world, we will use that term slack out for about 20 or 30 minutes because you want that frost to come off and melt away from the vegetable before you actually put it into the steamer. So I have in this 2-inch perforated pan about 4 pounds of frozen broccoli. And again, I've had it in my refrigerator. You can put it in the refrigerator the night before, or you can just slack it out, thaw it out the day of prior to cooking. Okay, so let's get this in our Combi. Again, we're going to put the solid pan below with the 2-inch perforated pan above so that it can catch anything that may drop from the cooking pan. Close it up. We will set our timer. And you'll need to be sure to check your cooking unit for the time it takes to cook steamed frozen broccoli. Okay. Oh, broccoli's ready. Okay, it's a hot pan, so be sure to wear your oven mitts. Protect you from burns. We're going to reach in, we're going to remove our solid pan and our perforated pan. If there's any liquid in the solid pan, you could pour it right there into the Combi. You could also transfer your vegetable at this time to the solid pan and go right to the serving line. But take a look at our vegetable. See how the buds are still intact on top? The flowers are still intact? That is a freshly steamed vegetable. So for steaming frozen or canned corn, the same rules as steaming fresh and frozen broccoli also apply. We're going to have a solid pan and we're going to have a 2-inch perforated pan on top. Now, an easy way to determine how many servings of vegetable you're going to have in your pan, we would go ahead and weigh the corn before it goes in the pan. So I have a gallon measure here. I place it on my scale, and I'm going to tare it back to 0. So I know exactly how many pounds I'm going to have in my container. Next, I'm going to take my container and I will pour the corn into the pan. Now when I steam this, when it goes to the serving line, I'll know the number of servings that I'm going to get out of each pan of vegetables.